Amber Flynla, Weasel News. Would you be here to answer some questions for us?
Flynla, is it true? Is it true about the court case? Are you suspended?
I did nothing wrong.
Is it true you brutalized that man?
I did nothing of the sort. I did nothing. Get these
What's the
cameras out of my face,
settlement?
man.
I heard you came to a settlement. What's the settlement?
Oh my god.
Mr. Tommy
Get this out of my
Sanchez
face. I've
filed
done
a civil
nothing wrong.
lawsuit. Could you give us a word on that?
I've done nothing wrong. Get the
How do you
camera out
feel
of my
about your
face.
suspension?
Please, we
No,
just need a
stop it.
statement. Is it true you arrested that man without cause? You can't hide from the truth. The people want to know, Miss Flynla.
You
We
can
want
run, but you can't
answers.
hide, Flynla.
I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong. Get these cameras out of my face, man.
Amber Flynla not giving a statement, hiding from the paparazzi live on Weasel News.
Get out of here.
Fleeing the scene. Amber Flynla fleeing the scene. Vinny Alonso here with Weasel News Talk Show. We have a few questions that we're going to get answered today, folks. We have Amber Flynla coming to give her side of the story. Amber? Very nice, very nice. Welcome to the show, Mrs. Flynla.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now that we have you on the show, we have your side of the story to get. We've already gotten Mr. Sanchez's side of the story. So let's go ahead and get started. How long have you been working with
Absolutely.
the LSPD / FIB?
Well, I have been on the force for over 5 years. I have done extremely good work with the local community, especially the south side of the city. Near Ray Lowenstein Boulevard, Grove Street, those entire areas. And I've worked a lot with the community and making sure that everyone's getting the help they need and keeping the streets safe.
Fantastic. Now, we do appreciate you coming here and making an appearance, taking the time to talk to us. How many arrests have you made as an officer?
It's a lot of people. I've taken down a lot of crooks and criminals. People who kidnap, people who rob banks, people who decide to launder dirty money, anything.
Okay. Now, any notorious arrests that you have made?
Notorious arrests? Yes,
Yeah,
the arrest of Mr. Chance Foger, extremely dangerous individual, known for robbing banks, kidnapping police officers, and the whole kit and caboodle, and they have been brought to justice. It is one of my highlights of.
Okay. Now, tell the people a little bit about yourself, so they can get a little bit more. So maybe the people who don't know you or maybe are new to the city can get a little bit of your identity, your personality. What do you like to do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I work with FIB, proud officer. I do enjoy time at home, with my many cats. I have a lot of cats. They're absolutely adorable. So I do make sure I take care of them. I am widowed. My husband used to be the assistant chief of the LSPD, but sadly they took their own life. And that is definitely a hard time that I went through, and that only happened in the past few years.
Well, that is very unfortunate. Hopefully we can find you a couple of bachelors here from this show. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh no.
He is
I
single
think
and out on the
I gotta
prowl.
wait a while. Quite a bit of time before that.
I understand. Now, with this whole situation with Mr. Tommy Sanchez, could you give a little bit on your side of the story? To my understanding, it was unlawful detainment as well as police brutality. What happened that day?
Well, it is a shame it's being painted that way because that is not at all what happened. We were in front of the Hayes Auto Shop. You ever been there, Hayes Mechanic?
Yeah, I'm quite familiar. I'm quite familiar.
We were doing a patrol in the area when all of a sudden somebody came up to the back of our patrol car, and I was with Officer Liam King. Came up to the back of the vehicle and decided to open the trunk and steal some weapons out of there. Unbelievable. Can you believe?
No,
They
that
went up to
you
the back
say
of the
they were
cop car to
stealing
steal
weapons?
weapons. Yeah, they were
Unbelievable.
stealing weapons, and we had to get out and detain the subject. After speaking with them, they somehow managed to run off on us, and we had backup arrive on scene to try and find them. Well,
Okay.
shortly after, there was a call to a bank robbery, and after that, I had to get down there and help. And unfortunately, right before we got that call, Mr. Liam got into an accident where he passed out and he had to get medical treatment. So he had to get taken in an ambulance, and I was left there alone with his car.
That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, and his car was a
Yeah,
two-door.
so
So
have you
because
ever
of
seen
that,
those
I'm
police
not able to
interceptors?
transport a suspect. That's against procedures. And well, this led up to the individual whom I will not name for legal reasons, appearing on the side of the road. Okay, happened about a block away, and they started interfering with the police investigation that was occurring with regards to the stolen weapons at the Hayes Auto. And they decided to keep recording, and they kept intervening. So I told them simply to stop, which is a lawful command, right? Right.
No.
It is. It is. If he is
I,
interfering.
I gave them a lawful command to stop, and they refused, and they kept getting closer to the vehicle. And which at that point I did detain them, and I simply told them to stop.
Okay. Okay. Now you were saying you were getting a call after dealing with this individual.
Yeah, I was getting a call, and I accidentally hit someone with my car. I mean, I was answering the phone, and then that's when that guy came out with the recording, and I think that's what he actually something about. I don't know what he's talking about, but yeah, I mean that's when the guy came out with the recording, and so it got pretty nasty from there.
Okay. Now, do you know Mr. Tommy Sanchez personally? Have you met him? Arrested him? Anything such?
I don't remember off the top of my head, no.
Because some believe this was a targeted attack.
Targeted attack? I didn't even know the guy. I didn't even know his name until now. I never arrested him. I never read him his rights or did anything. I simply told him to put the camera down, and he refused to do so, so I had to detain him, and I had to tell him how it is.
Okay. Okay. Now, Mrs. Flynla, would you be surprised to hear that Weasel News has information that this may not be the very first lawsuit or nor lawsuit filed against you?
What do you mean not? I've never been in trouble before. What are you talking about?
Well, folks, this is where the story gets juicy. We have an anonymous source stating that they had put in a filed complaint against Amber Flimla, and 2 hours later, they had gotten a call from an officer stating that they'd laughed at this complaint and threw it away. Any statement you'd like to
what?
give on that?
What complaint? What is this with regards to?
Well, it's just an anonymous source that we got stating that they put a complaint in and it was thrown away and laughed at.
That I threw it away and laughed at it? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
no, ma'am, no, not you. It was a different officer. The other officer in question is Mr. Clay Morgan.
Oh, Clay Morgan. Oh, yeah. Okay. What happened exactly? Did he
So,
just threw up a report? I'm not surprised.
Yep, apparently someone put in a formal complaint and it was thrown away.
Thrown away. Yeah, I mean,
How do you feel about
I'm
that?
gonna be honest with you. We get a lot of reports. Sometimes we take action, and sometimes we determine that there's no action that needs to be taken because everything is done properly. I know from Mr. Morgan, he is a upstanding sheriff, and he does everything he can to do the right thing. So I doubt if it reached Mr. Morgan that he would simply dismiss it. But know that sometimes we do get a lot of reports that we do push aside because there's no law that's been broken. I mean, what are you gonna do? There's no law that's broken.
No, I completely understand. We will be playing you some of that anonymous information here soon, folks. So stand by. Ready? Go ahead and whenever you want to start, sir.
Yeah. So about say 2.5, 3 months ago, I was pulled over after buying a new bike. After probably about my first hour and a half, 2 hours off the plane, I was pulled over by a Amber Flynla and a Sheriff Morgan. Um, Standard, routine. I guess they call it a traffic stop. They asked for my information, gave it to them, complied 100%. Sheriff Morgan walked away to run my information, and Amber Flynn just immediately started saying she was going to kill me, she was going to shoot me if I, moved even an inch. To the point where I was honestly scared to breathe. I felt like if she seen my chest moving, she was going to shoot me. So when I heard, obviously she had a lawsuit, I wasn't surprised in the slightest. I was wearing a tank top at the time, so I feel like since I had tattooed.
Thank you, sir. We're going to definitely try to get this answered and figured out, as well as maybe get Mr. Morgan down here.
Figure out what's going on with it.
Thank you so much for giving a statement. Do appreciate you. This has been Weasel News. Mrs. Flimla, how do you feel after this whole accusation, the suspension? What's going through your head?
Well, I'm very upset for one. We were supposed to reach a settlement today, and they denied the settlement for 1.1 million, mind you, and they denied it. Can you believe that?
Wow, $1.1 million.
And it's just they wouldn't take the money. Nobody wants to know. Nobody knows what they want. They're just trying to get me in trouble. They don't appreciate the service that I provide to the city, and honestly, it's just a huge shame.
That is misfortunate. That is some misfortune. Well, we do appreciate Amber Flimla coming down and giving her side of the story, folks. It has seemed that some of the information was withheld and some stories have been cleared up. I've been Vinny Alonzo. This is Amber Flimla. Again, thank you so much for coming here on Weasel Talk Show.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be able to set the record straight. Thank you.
And as well, always, thank you for tuning in to the Weasel Talk Show. Stay tuned for more information on this story.